Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. I am Dennis Wirth. This is Funny How Clown Podcast. I'm your host. What are we in? January 27th, 2024. It's a new year. As always, today's episode is brought to you by G Vegas Buffalo Sauce for the spicy, sweet, savory taste of game time. There's only one G Vegas. And they knocked down my websites, but I got a new website up. Go to jokeinthebox.org and you can order some through there, and we'll be getting some more information in the future. We do comedy here, we do movies here. I got on Robert Glancy, better known in the comedy world as Big Bob. How you doing, Bob?
Good. How you doing?
I'm hanging in there pretty good. The reason I brought you on the show is a few years back, I put in a little comedy group we have on Facebook. I was looking for actors to do an independent film I was shooting, and you contacted me and said you were interested. What made you be interested?
I'd done a few movies before that. I wanted to do it.
All right,
just keep going.
Yeah, you don't stop or you get old, right?
Right.
So you ended up playing the role of the judge, and what did you think they wanted to shoot when you started filming it? I mean, it don't all make sense in the beginning, once it goes to editing, it does. But what did you think of the character?
No, when I first started shooting it was just like me, you, and a couple other guys, and I had no idea what to expect. Okay. And I know with the theme and your past history, it could have gone either way as far as what the movie was all about. Yeah. And then when I went to the movie, I was really impressed with what you did with my character and what you did with the whole movie and the overall theme of it.
Well, what did you get for a feeling, though, playing the judge? What was your feel behind that character?
I liked it. I actually thought I did a pretty good job of being a judge.
You look like a judge, ironically. If you looked at you, you'd think he's a judge. I mean, you look like one.
Right. Well, you know what? I stood in front of a few of them, so I know a little bit about how they act.
You know what's going on, of course. Okay, so you got to work with Adam Griswold. He was the director. What do you think of Adam? Was he easy to direct with, or?
Excellent. I couldn't believe it. Okay. Actually, especially I was having trouble breathing back then, and they worked around my shortcomings, and it came out great. And especially when I turned into the evil judge, I had no idea what to expect there, and it came out really good.
Okay, so the name of the movie is The World Needs a New Superhero. And ironically, I pitched it to a bunch of people, and Fox TV's streaming service Tubi ended up picking it up. It streams on there. You can watch it free with commercials. So what do you think about getting a Fox credit out of the thing?
I like it. I've actually shown up on IBMD, IMBD, something like that.
Yeah. Internet Movie Database. Yeah, we're all in there for doing it.
Yeah.
So,
you know what? I've been in a couple movies. That's the first one I've actually seen that I was in.
Well, what other movies you been in? You mentioned that. Yeah. What other movies?
I was in one for Japanese public TV that was only released in Asia. So it was a docudrama called Flags Over Portsmouth. It was shot in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, about the 1905 signing of the treaty between the Russian and Japanese. And it was a docudrama.
You'd have to fly over to Asia if you wanted to see it.
Huh?
You'd have to fly over to Asia in order to see it. Is that what you're saying? Or
yeah, something like that, or get a copy of it somehow.
Yeah, the internet? You might be able to. I don't know. Well, yeah, Asia. I think it's Facebook and all that. I don't know. What was the other movie?
I've looked a couple times, and I'm not really good on the internet as it is.
So what's the other movie you did besides that one?
I was in one for Bob Marley it was a short movie called Mint Condition, and I was like a guy that was going to rob a bank or something like that, and I had a couple scenes. Tony V was in it, and a couple other local comedians, and actually my girlfriend's mother got to be in it too. But yeah, it was a half-hour short film, and I was in Detroit when they had their big premiere for that, so I didn't get to see that. Okay, and so I just got to buy a copy of it, I think.
He's from Maine, right? You're a Maine guy too, right? So you both from Maine? Okay.
Yeah, that was shot. Georgetown was in it. It was shot in Maine.
And I know you told me back in the day you did some theater work too. What did you do in theater?
I did The Lead in Barefoot in the Park. I did about a dozen plays, and they kept me in comedies. I was looking for some way to get into Hollywood is what I was doing, right. And then I found stand-up comedy. It kind of every time I do stand-up comedy, every time I took a play, I'd get offered a gig doing comedy, and I couldn't do it because I was already committed to the play. So right. I kind of put those on the back burner. But I was in. I played the bodyguard in The King and I. The King's Bodyguard, or I was in a couple of Chekhov plays. They're comedies about three bags full. One's got diamonds and one's got money and one's got underwear in it. And It's a funny movie.
So were these up in
Funny,
the
I
main
mean,
theaters you were playing at, or where were the theaters at?
oh, theaters. One was the first one I was in was in Kennebunkport, right down in the.
Liverpool,
It was
Maine,
like
yeah.
George Bush. They actually checked it so that George Bush could come. Like the
Really?
Secret Service came and checked us out. He didn't come, but they did check it out to see if he wanted to. You know what I
You
mean?
got to invite him, yeah. If you got the in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the Chocolate Church in Bath, I did a bunch of up there, and City Theater in Bedford, I did one there, two there. Yeah, I was in a play called The Tea House of the August Moon. That was pretty good.
Huh. All right. So as you said, once we got the movie done, we had a premiere at a local movie theater in Gardner. We all showed up. We had a little red carpet interview. Watched the movie. What were your impressions once you saw the movie? You know, as opposed to acting in it.
I had to apologize to all my friends about how ugly I am. I never saw myself that big before, and I realized I don't have to look at that. You guys do.
There you go. But what was your favorite scene in the movie? I mean, watching the whole movie, what was your favorite part?
Where he holds the rubber up and throws it at me, and it kicks off my heel and bounced off the wall and ricocheted off somebody else and got him in the head.
Bing, boing, boing, and off of you. You're down for the count, right?
Compared to what I actually had to do for that scene to what it ended up being, that was great.
Yeah, I remember you saying you didn't think that you'd be able to pull it off, but once the sound effects and the lights and everything, and it looks realistic, right?
Yeah.
No, so other than your character, what was your favorite character in the movie?
My favorite character in the movie was probably you.
Me? Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. A lot of people said Randy, the lady who played my ex. Everybody said she played a really good role.
Yeah, there was. You know what? There was a few people in there that were really good. You know what I also like too is at the end of it, all the cameos. I think we were in the last movie Bob Saget did.
Yeah, I got that was about one of the last things he must have did. I got that a few days before he passed away. I said my movie might have been one of the last things Bob Saget did. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't claimed that I worked with any of those guys yet, but I probably will.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, then what? Gilbert Gottfried passed away. Louis Anderson passed away. I was like, we're lucky we got him in there when we did.
You got Cedric the Entertainer's there too. I mean, there's some big names in our business.
Yeah, that was a good times. Good times. Yeah. All right, so we got done that movie. Then I approached you that I was making a sequel to it. The World Needs Its Superhero Part 2. So, what were your thoughts when I approached you about being in that one?
I was ready. I was kind of surprised, but it doesn't surprise me that you want to do another one.
Right.
But I didn't know we were going to do the same theme, and I don't know what the second one looks like either because I really didn't have a big part in that one.
Right, cameo you had, right? Yeah.
But I also know that the people that you have in it are good. Like Bob Gautreau is a really good
veteran, right? Yeah, that was. Well, the first one had Randy, who played my ex. She's a veteran actress, and I try to get at least one real veteran to play to play the villain, like the old James Bond, had the great villains in them. So I try to get a veteran for those characters. But
well, I can't wait till I'm healthy. I got one more knee to get, and I'll be healthy. And then once I do that, you could actually probably have me like run across the room or something.
Well, I know when I approached you, you said you were going through some health issues, and it's like when you're young, you want to do everything. When you get older, you can only do so much as your body would put up with. So I mean, what was it like fighting through the health issues to get to do it?
Well, the knee was, once I had it done, I go, oh, geez, I don't know why I waited so long. I got to get the other knee done now. And once I had a heart surgery too, and I didn't know what that was all about. And the thing is, right after I had it done, I couldn't breathe, but I slowly have been getting better steadily. And that was 3 months ago now. I'm doing pretty good. I can't wait to get my other knee done so I can start exercising.
You're not scared to go out and do comedy or nothing like that anymore? You're okay? You're good now?
Oh, no, I had a great set the other night. I hosted at the Winter Circle.
Oh, there you go. Okay, so you're back
for a while there, I couldn't stand up for 5 minutes and I couldn't breathe. So
right,
I took about 6 months off just so that I wasn't an embarrassment to anybody else.
Yeah, right, yeah. Tough to do anything if you can't stand up for 5 minutes. Tough to be a part of anything. But
right, it is called stand-up comedy.
That's right. So I don't know. I mean, before I made the two main films, The World Needs Its Superhero, I did a short film about Sam Kinison called The World
I think I saw something about that. I never saw the flick though. I saw you wearing the coat.
From Preacher to Prophet, a Sam Kinison story. It's on YouTube. You can watch it. It's a short film about Sam. But if I ever made it big in comedy and someone came to me and said you can do anything you want, what would you want to do? My dream would have been to play Sam. So I mean, if someone came to you and said, Bob, you can have any role you want, what would be your dream role? What would you want to play?
Oh man, he's dead now, but I would love to have worked with Richard Pryor.
Richard Pryor, the voted
Yeah.
#1 comic of all
When I
time
was
by
in the
Comedy Central.
military, we had a section of our boat. We called it the ghetto, but that's where the brothers all stayed. There was about 20 of them.
Yeah.
And I'm walking by doing a round one time, and I could hear somebody talking. I didn't think anything of it. I made my round. They come back. I could hear the same guy was talking. So I sat down on the other side of the petition, and they're all laughing. I'm laughing. And finally, I was laughing so hard I had to stick my head around the corner and go, "Who the hell's talking?" And it was a tape recorder of Richard Pryor.
Okay.
And I don't think it was called, the name of the tape was "That Nigger's Crazy." And I don't even think they can sell that now with that title. But back then, that was like cutting edge. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. You'd never get
And
away
the
with
guy
half
was
the stuff
so
nowadays.
funny, I couldn't believe it.
Oh, sure. I say what? I mean, I thought for me, the 5 godfathers of comedy are Pryor, Carlin, Bill Cosby. Say what you want. His comedy was great.
Man, it was funny.
What's his name here? Rodney Dangerfield and Steve Martin. That'd be my 5 godfathers of our generation anyway. I mean, you can go back farther, the Jerry Lewises and like that. But
Rodney Dangerfield, I'd like to see him.
Yeah. I saw 3 of the 5. I've seen Steve Martin, I've seen George Carlin, and I saw Bill Cosby before he went to jail and all the allegations. But I never saw Richard Pryor or Rodney Dangerfield. Those are the 2 I missed out. But so who are some of the main?
See Richard Pryor, but I definitely saw Rodney Dangerfield in New York City for a while there. He would drop into all the other shows. He had his own club, but he would drop into all the other shows.
Yeah.
It is like an evening, not an what do you call it? A robe. Like he was in a shower, like he's at a
bathrobe. He was famous for the bathrobe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, too funny. So what do you plan in the future? I mean, are there any projects you'd want to work on, or what are you looking to do?
Well, I just hosted this week. I'm starting to push now to get, like, I'm reaching the end of the road. I either got to do it or not do it now.
Right.
But I'm starting to push a little bit. I still want to get one knee done, but I know how it goes now. I had the other knee done, so unless I have trouble, I should be able to do that and still work at the same time. You know what I mean? I didn't know before, and but I'm starting to push a little bit. I want to get going, like working clubs and like start my own like headlining, whatever I got to do to get in the game, and I'll do movies or whatever comes along. But I'm really going to start a big push here, starting about March.
All right, so you're more geared toward comedy, but if something in acting comes along, you do something in acting, yeah.
Well, you know what? The whole thing is, the whole reason why you do acting in the movie is if you get the movie, then you get gigs. You can do all the gigs you want. And the whole idea behind doing that is so that I can do the gigs in the clubs.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. You got
some people, they
got a Fox credit to your
name.
name.
What's that?
You got a Fox credit to your name because Fox TV picked up the movie, so you got a Fox credit to your name. So if you go to the clubs and they ask you done anything, well, I was in a movie that got picked up by Fox. That's a good way to get booked, right?
There you go. It's got to start somewhere. Not only that, 90% of everything is BS anyway. You know that.
Oh yeah, 90% of the business is yeah.
But at least if they check, I'm actually in it. You know.
Yeah, I've had comics that can only do 10 minutes.
On my question their credits, but they try to stay truthful with that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, they can check out on the internet, so you can only stretch it so far. But
my thing is, I do at least one show every week. I go to the Winner's Circle every week. I've been doing that for like almost 5 years now. And what that does is it keeps my hand in. Like I did a show last year. It was at the Hampton Beach Festival. And one of the guys who did it invited me to the show. I said, well, can I get a spot? He said, no, but you can come see the show. So I went there. And the guy who was actually running the show, Jimmy Dunn, is a friend of mine. He asked me if I wanted to do a spot. I said, sure. I did end up doing a 5-minute spot. And I killed it. But the thing is, I was ready because I go every week and I keep my hand in the game.
That keeps you in practice, too. Yeah, if you don't do it for too long, you get rusty and stuff.
Well, if you catch me on an open mic night, I might have a bad set because I'm trying all new material. But if you catch me on a night like that, I'm going to give them stuff I know is going to work.
Yeah, right. Your A material, right? Yeah. So I did a show. I was headlining for the Leominster Blue Devils, the Leominster Mass football team. We had a good crowd, and I hadn't done it for a while. And I was like, boy, I was thinking of I wasn't in practice. I was a little bit off. I still had a good set, but I can't say it was totally smooth because I hadn't done comedy in such a long time.
Yeah, you know, it's like the edge isn't there.
You still got me here.
When you're doing it all the time, you're not worried about that little minutia that you worry about when you're not doing it all the time.
Yeah. They
like your delivery or your timing or whatever. You just kind of do it and react to whatever's going on around you.
Right.
The audience picks up on that too. You know.
So how long you been doing comedy?
I love
doing
stand-up comedy.
How many years you been doing comedy for now?
I think I started in '87. What's that? 35 years ago. 36
87.
years
I was
ago.
a junior in high school when you started. Wow.
Yeah,
What's
I
it?
actually started late too. I think I was 30, 32
Really?
or something when I started, which most of the kids start when they're 18, 19 years old.
What's
But
your
I had an
favorite?
advantage because I was older. I had life experience that I could draw on. I was doing stuff that was funny and getting laughs the first time I tried it. That the kids were going, "What's funny about that?" You know what I mean? It's like it's funny.
Right, you kids, right? What's your favorite memory from comedy? All those years doing it. What's your high point of your comedy career?
Oh man,
There's a lot, right? Tough to choose.
oh, you know what? I hosted a thing called the BIW Variety Show 2 years in a row. Bath Ironworks. It's a big uh, place in Maine where they build ships.
Yeah.
But it was a variety show. It's all the talent that was in 10,000, 12,000 people worked there. We put on a 2 hour show 2 years in a row. And I got to host it. And they gave me free reign as far as writing characters. I got to do a character every time I brought a new group up. And so I had fun. I got pictures of it. It was fun. That was fun. And
That's
that
nice.
and like I'd be hanging around at the Comedy Connection in Portland, and a call would come in, and I get like, "Hey man, you want to do the LL Bean? It's actually a warehouse at 2 o'clock in the morning. You know, second shift warehouse. They want to do a show. You want to go do it?" I got a lot of those kind of things for like the Heart Association or Jerry Lewis Telethon. But I got nice letters in my jacket. But I had fun doing those gigs because nobody wanted to do them. There's no money there, but I represented the club, so I gave them a good show. You know, and those are the kind of things. I get my perks from the audience laughs and the way the audience treats me, because a lot of club owners or people that are doing that, they've got another agenda. They want to do it themselves, and if you're funnier than they're not going to tell you you're funny. You know, but the guy who wants you to come do the show, and he gets mad because you didn't do the joke you did last week, and he's brought all his friends to see it. That's the kind of stuff I like.
Oh, I've lost some work because I get more laughs than the headliners. Then they don't want to use you again because you're getting more laughs than them. It's like, well, I'm not going to not be funny. What do you want me to do? You know, it's a dirty business. But speaking of a dirty business, I mean, I know there's a lot of bad nights in comedy too. You had drunks, you had hecklers. I mean, what's one of the worst parts of comedy you think there is?
You know, I used to be that guy that had a couple too many drinks and thought he was helping the show. So I'm a little more tolerant with him than most people. I give them a couple of chances, then I slam them just like everybody else. It's just not, you didn't earn your spot there. I did.
Yeah.
You know? But the worst part of it, everything takes too long. You know, everybody wants to be a star next week. And Eddie Murphy took 15 years to be an overnight wonder. So, you know, I'm not in any hurry. And another thing, too, is these hell gigs, we call them hell gigs.
Yeah.
I do every one of them that I get a chance to, because you know what? Every one of those that gives me a hard time, where I run into somebody in the audience that's giving me a hard time, when I get to a really big club and I get up, I'm going to look like a professional because I'm going to know how to handle that guy.
It's going to make you a better comic.
Without offending anybody.
Yeah.
Should, when you get somebody like that, you should be able to slam them to the ground and after the show have them come up and shake your hand. Leave a good taste in their mouth. You should never have anybody mad at you for doing the show. And that's my opinion. You know, I always try to give a good show. And if I'm not doing well on stage, I'll get off rather than ruin the show. I'm not going to try and get them with the next joke. If I tell 3 jokes in a row that aren't good, it's time for me to get off the stage. You know, because usually it's an open mic night anyway. It's not if I'm getting paid for it, I'm doing my time. But you know, you gotta look at the overall better part of the show. And these people, the audience sucks. It's like, you know, 1 out of 50 audiences you can say that to. If you say that to 2 out of 50, you have to work on your material, because the audience paid money to see the show. All you gotta do is do something funny. They're gonna laugh. You know.
There you go.
So there's ways to get like not that I get like club owners like me. Bookers, moms like me. I got a couple of bookers. You're one of them. Alana, her mom likes me, and this guy Ben Roberts up north, his mom likes me. And you book small gigs and stuff like that, but I get to come back because their mom wants to see me. That's
mom's approval, you're in. That's right. That's a good way to get in, for sure. Absolutely. What who are some of your favorite comics to work with on the scene? I don't know who are your go-to guys that you like to work with
nowadays.
Yeah.
Oh man, I like Lenny.
Lenny, yeah.
Clark, I wouldn't mind working with him. I love Tony V. I really love working with him. He's
Tony's
just
a good guy. He's been
a
on the
consummate
podcast.
professional.
Yeah.
Same thing with Jimmy Dunn. Some of the bigger guys, I wouldn't mind working with. I'd have to think about it. I
Steve
like
Sweeney,
Jack
he's
Black.
always a good guy to work. I like
Is that his
Steve.
name? Not Jack Black. Lewis Black. Is that his name?
Lewis Black, yeah. You worked with him? He's a big time comedian. Lewis Black, you worked with him?
Yeah, no, I never worked with him.
Oh,
I'd like to.
funny.
I thought that was a question.
No, I'm saying local comedians who you like. I know Steve Sweeney, I like. He's a great guy, Steve, yeah.
I'll tell you a story about Steve Sweeney. When I was first getting started down in Boston back in like the late 80s,
yeah,
he was doing a benefit for a charity. And my girlfriend and I decided we were going to go. So I'm waiting in line. The line goes around the building and down the block. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm waiting in line, and I'm back about halfway down the line. Steve goes walking by. He grabs me out of line. What are you doing in that line? Get out of there. Brought me in, sat me down next to the mayor, behind the Celtics, and in front of the Red Sox. I was like, I figured I made it by then. And about 2 weeks later, I was doing a show at Nick's, and I brought about a dozen friends down from Maine. And I said, I'd probably comp a couple of you in, but I don't think I can comp all of you. No way, man. So we're going through the door, and they caught me at the door and comped every one of them in there. I felt like, geez, I'm actually a comedian now.
Wow, there we go.
That was fun.
Well, that's good stuff. All right, Zoom's telling me we got a few minutes left there, so let's wind it down. But so let's say I'm going to make part 3 to The World Needs a New Superhero. You going to come play the judge again? You still in or what?
Yes, sir.
You definitely in?
Yes, sir. Just ask.
All right, well, that's
when
good
you're doing
stuff.
I'll come down. I actually thought that's what this was going to be something about.
No, I wish, yeah. I gotta get through the second one. I get that one done before I do the third. But what's your favorite memory about being in part 1 or 2? What's your favorite memory about doing the movies?
With you?
Yeah.
Or doing the movies with you?
Yeah, doing the 2 movies you did with me. What's your favorite memory?
You know, one thing I learned when I did that movie for Japanese public TV, they were paying big money. Like anytime they spend that kind of money to shoot a piece of plastic, there's pretty girls around. And I mean, we were all wearing like 1900 dress. The girls were all wearing wear-bone corsets and nice dresses. Guys were all dressed up and stuff. And it was fun. It was a lot of fun. And what goes on behind that velvet rope is different from what goes on in front of it. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like we had everybody in the movie had a beard or a mustache. And nobody had one in real life, so they had a guy who had to put beards and mustaches on everybody. And it was fun to watch him. The guy knew what he was doing.
There you go. All right, Bob. Well, I hope to see you on the circuit in the future, man. Good luck to you, and I hope you keep acting, and I hope you keep doing comedy, and your health keeps up, because comedy needs you.
Dennis, thank you very much, man. Thanks for having me on your show here.
Thank you, man. Be well.
I'm looking forward to working with you again.
Sounds good. We'll see you soon, buddy. Bye-bye.